We just finished our MaxSold seller managed auction, and I'm going to tell you all about it today. Hi everyone, my name is Leanna and I am a full-time reseller, and Paul and I just had a seller managed MaxSold auction. First off, what is MaxSold and where are they? So MaxSold is basically a company that allows you to run an auction on their site, which is really cool. They are located here in Canada. They are all over Ontario. They are in Calgary, and they are in a lot of places in British Columbia. In the United States, they have about 20 different states that I'm not going to mention all of them, but if you go to their website, it is right there with locations, and there's about 20 states that has a whole bunch of locations for you. So what is the difference between a seller managed auction and a MaxSold managed auction? Because you do have a choice. With a MaxSold managed auction, they do everything. They come in, they take the photos, they upload the photos, they do the descriptions, they deal with all the money, and they deal with the pickup day as well. You as the seller still gets to choose how long the auction is and things like that. You get to choose your dates. That's about it. But they do all the work. For that though, you will be paying a fee of 30% or $800 depending on how much you sell and which is bigger. So they will take the biggest fee. With a seller managed auction, you do all the photos, you do the listings, you do the descriptions, and you deal with pickup. They still deal with all the money. So they have all the credit cards and all that. And that is good in my books. I like that. For a seller managed auction, you will pay 30% or $300, whichever is more. However, we just had our very first auction with them, and I don't know if this is a promotion across the board. Check with your location if you're thinking of doing it, but we're only going to be paying $200 for our first auction, so that's a little bonus there. So, overall experience dealing with MaxSold and having an auction, the overall experience was really, really good. Their customer support is amazing. You phone, you get a real person, you can ask questions. They are very good at, I don't want to say, they kind of like hold your hand the first little while to get you used to the programs and to the websites, and they make sure that everything is sort of good to go. That I found really helpful, and if you are new to even reselling alone, that will give you confidence that you can phone them and get the answers, or they can review your listings and they can give you tips about, oh, maybe you should be saying this, or you know, whatever, or your photos are blurry or whatever. So I found their customer support was amazing. Their website I found very easy to navigate, and doing the listings and uploading photos and that, again, very simple, very straightforward, which I really appreciated. It was not stressful to actually get the lots and items up into listings. That was easy to do. It was just a matter of actually doing the work. So overall, really, really good. So we're going to talk about auction length. We chose to have a 7-day auction. I think next time we might try a 10-day. MaxSold allows you to choose between anywhere between 2 days and maximum of 10 days auctions. They do recommend 5 to 7, or no, 5 to 10, I think it was, 5 to 10, because it just gives people more chance to make plans to come pick stuff up or to look at your items or whatever. We chose 7. We went from Wednesday to Wednesday. They do require you to have a couple of days between the close of the auction and pickup days. So we closed Wednesday and our pickup was Saturday. So that was fine. Picking the dates were easy. We just decided what days would work for us, and it was great. You start uploading your catalog, you do your lots, you do your photos, and when you think you are done, number one, you want to make sure that you have enough lots or enough value in there that you will be making at least your fees, because you don't want to do an auction, a seller managed auction, and have like 10 items that are only going to sell for $100 because your fees are going to be $300. So make sure that you have enough there to pay the fee and to make money. It's really important. You also, before you lock and load your dates, you want to make sure that all the listings are exactly as you say they are, because when you lock your dates in, to remove an item from the auction if it gets broken or you decide you don't want to sell it anymore, there is a fee involved, and I believe it's between $50 and $100. So make sure that the lots that you are offering are exactly what you say they are, and don't change your mind. So once your dates are locked and loaded, usually that happens a few days before the auction starts, because they will start to promote it. Then just make sure that your listings are exactly how you want them. You lock in your dates. Fantastic. That means that your pickup day is also locked in, so you know beforehand when you're going to be doing things, which is great. We locked our dates in. We went from Wednesday to Wednesday. The first 4 days, nothing. Nobody was bidding, and we couldn't tell if anybody was watching anything, which was a little annoying. But nobody was bidding. We're like, uh-oh, what did we do? And come day, 5 and 6, things started happening. It was a little bit more, it's like, okay, we're getting bids, that's good. Whew. And the last day, it just blew up. It was fun. I know that it started to close at 8 o'clock on Wednesday evening, and I was out, I had something else to do, and I came home, and it was jumping from I don't remember the numbers, but it jumped $400 for the time I got home to the time that it actually ended. So that was kind of cool. So that's what happened. What happened was, after everybody decided they were going to bid on the last day, which gives me a heart attack, but we had a total of 155 lots to sell. Now, some of these items were things that we've been hanging on to that had been listed and just were not getting any attention. So we thought, you know what, put them on. Even if they go for $1 or $2, it's just make some space. So we sold we had 155 lots. 29 of those lots did not sell whatsoever. So those items are either getting donated, or I'm going to be rephotographing and relisting them. So we sold a total of 126 lots, which is not horrible. Our sell-through rate was just over 79%, which is not bad at all. We ended up having sales of just over $700, which, but for a first time, it's all right. Minus the $200 fee for a first auction means that our sales were $519. So all in all, not horrible. A couple of things. One thing I don't necessarily love about MaxSold is that they start the bidding at $1. And so a few items went for $1. Some people got some great deals. And I feel that if they could start them even at $3 or $5, that might be better for the sellers, and I think people would still buy them. So the dollar thing is just that little irksome thing. You have to be prepared to let things go for $1. So we're taking the auction as a whole as opposed to individually, you know what I mean? So we sold 126 items and made that much money. So overall, it was not horrible. Not great, but not horrible. So the $1 auction start is one of the little tiny things that I didn't love about MaxSold. Not a biggie, but it's just one of those things. The other thing is when we had pickup. So we decided to have pickup on a Saturday in our office space because I didn't want people coming to the house. It's a safety thing, and we could just get better organized at the office. Our office is on the 5th floor, so people had to come up in the elevator. MaxSold does provide a link or a PDF or something for signage. I just went to Canva and made my own signs because they just fit better, so we did that. They kind of look like this with my notes. It's sort of like that, only it did say MaxSold. I did do it better. Anyway. So we did the signage. People found the place, no problem. That was great. We were organized because we had the invoices, so we knew that, buyer A bought 10 lots, we put them all together. Buyer B bought 3 lots, we put it all together. So we wanted to be super organized, and we were. I was really proud of ourselves, and it made it much smoother to deal with. The only problem with the pickup is, traditionally speaking, because we've bought from MaxSold, we were under the impression that there are sort of wedges of time. So pickup slot A was between 9 and 11. pickup slot B was between 11 and 1, and pickup C was 1 and 3 type of thing. We said we were available between 9 and 3:30. We figured we wanted it even shorter, but they recommended that length because of the number of lots we had. But we ended up having a period of time for about 2.5 hours where nobody was showing up. And it was like, okay, what is going on? And I realized, I looked at the second invoices that we got, and they actually had pickup times, and they were scheduled really strangely. It's like they scheduled one person at 9:30, and then I think I had 2 people at 9:30 and nobody else until 11:30. It was like, okay, why? I'd rather get it done in the morning. And a couple of the customers did say, they had a hard time navigating the pickup times, that they couldn't book a time when they really, really wanted it. So it was just very strange. And it's something we're going to touch base with MaxSold on, because I would much rather have just a wedge of time and have it gone, and we could have been home much earlier. So we had pickup between 9 and 3:30. At 3:45, we still had 1 lot that had not been picked up. So we called MaxSold, and they answered the phone, which is awesome, and said, okay, this is the situation. It's past the time for pickup. What do we do? Can you contact this customer to see if, are they stuck in traffic? Did something happen? Do they want to make alternate arrangements? Whatever. And they did. They called the customer, and it turned out that the customer didn't realize that when he bid that where we were. He didn't realize we were here in Sarnia, and it was too far for him to go. So we did let MaxSold give him our email address if he wants to make arrangements in the next couple of days to come and get it. Or, maybe he's just, okay, you know what, I bid, I have to pay for it. So we get the money and we keep the items as well, which I think is what's happening. So I thought that was really good, because we're not responsible for collecting that money. MaxSold is, and they dealt with that, which is I like that a lot. It made me feel good. It was a long day, but all in all, the customers were fantastic. They were happy with what they got. They were, everybody was super friendly. So it was a good day, but it was just long. And we're going to try and get that worked out so that it's not nearly as long next time. So I think we talked about the dollar bids, and you can't have an item with a reserve bid. So if you have something that's worth a lot of money, and it's a risk because somebody could bid $1 and nobody else wants it, and you have to let it go for $1. Sometimes you in some auctions you can put a reserve bid on that. So you want to get $20 out of it, so you can put that as the lowest bid. On MaxSold, you can't do that. So you have to be careful with what you're listing to make sure that you're okay with it going for $1. So it's just something to keep in mind. Anyway, the last thing we're going to talk about actually is just, was it worth our time? I think so. It was a learning experience. We went into it as a learning experience. It was a first of, and we just wanted to get the lay of the land and see if we actually liked working with MaxSold. And yeah, the overall experience was fantastic. We have talked about how to streamline the process next time so that it doesn't take us as long. We can source a little differently now because we can get bigger things if we think, yeah, you know what, someone's going to love that. If I only paying $1 or $2 for it, maybe it'll sell for $5 or $10, and I can take a risk. So we liked that a lot. We're going to try and find a permanent sort of space in our either garage or in our office space to set up MaxSold or to store MaxSold items. That way they're all already there, and we just have to, if we get something, photograph it, put it in a file on the computer, then in a couple of months it's ready to go and we don't have to worry about it. So we are looking to streamline the process, and we are definitely looking at doing it again. I'm hoping to do another MaxSold before winter sets in, so I'm thinking in around end of October, early November, maybe just before Halloween, doing another one to see if it works just as well or even better. We do have weather to contend with here, so doing an auction in the dead of winter when I know the customers are coming from as far as 2 hours away might not be the best thing, but we could also maybe play with the pickup dates, making them a little more easier to navigate for people, so that, okay, if we're picking up Saturday and Sunday, because, okay, Saturday is a huge snowstorm, but Sunday's going to be better, you know, we can play with that. We're going to look into doing that. Yeah, so we enjoyed working with MaxSold. I am looking forward to forming a partnership with them and having auctions as part of our semi-regular type of, you know, business practice, and doing them maybe once a quarter and getting some extra cash influx would be really, really good. Right now I'm thinking once a quarter, and you know, we can, like, next auction will be before Christmas, so I'm looking at new with tags items or things that could be used for Christmas or as presents or holiday themed items, etc. So that's what I would go sourcing for now, which is really cool. That's it. Yeah. It was a really good experience. If you have a MaxSold in your area, check it out, see what they're like, you know, even bid with them, you know, try buying on a few of the auctions and see if you like the sort of process. That's a really good way to start with them, and you can get some really good buys sometimes. So that is it for today. I hope everybody is going to have a fantastic week. Thumbs up if you like this content, and if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. I am still uploading Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see everyone on Wednesday. Bye, guys.